Good morning or good evening, guys and girls. We are here from Zest Specialty Coffee Roasters, and we have just received an amazing shipment of coffee from Ecuador, from this fantastic family here, who we're going to learn a little bit more about in the next 5 minutes or so. We've got JC. He's the
That's me.
He's the father and the one that started this all, and then his sons and daughters there, Anna, who's currently in the US, and Nico, who is taking over basically the producing and the fun stuff on the farm, which is great. We love to collaborate with everybody involved in coffee, from farmers all the way through to us over here in Melbourne as roasters.
We started the farm, well, my dad started the farm in 2016. It's family owned. And we were cultivating sugarcane before the coffee on the farm. But that business was not going in a good way. So we switched. And actually we had done a lot of tests in the soil, and they determined that the area was really good for coffee. Like the percentage of nutrients on the ground, the shade, the altitude, it was just optimal to grow good coffee. We noticed that the conditions were really good for coffee. First, because we're on the top of the mountains and we receive water, the first ones to receive the water. So that's key, to have really clean water to wash the coffee and to feed the coffee. Also, another thing that my brother can explain a little bit further is that we develop our own fertilization plans with this farm based on what the soil and what our plants need. We are like a team. I'm 26, my brother's 24, so we're pretty learning. Awesome. Young. We like to experiment. We're open to learn, to receive feedback from our customers on how we can improve, but most of all to grow together and to build like long-lasting relationships, because that's what it's all about. And as you were mentioning, we only focus on producing nanolots and specialty coffee. We're small. We don't care very much about the quantity, but the quality of the coffee. And we chose to keep it that way, to keep it small, to be in control of the lots.
So there's another farm in Ecuador that we partnered with. So we together developed new processes. So we help each other. So that's why I try one experimental 1 year and he tries another one, and then we share. And the next year we do the opposite. We have another company that we have a good relationship that is helping us to develop all the inox tanks where we do all the fermentations. So there is a chemical engineer that is teaching us how to monitor and how to learn and understand what's going on inside the fermentation. So yes, of course, we are learning every year. Oh my God, we did 56.
56?
Yes, we did 56.
2020 was the year for experimenting, since we were locked down at the farm.
We went to live in the farm for 6 months, so we were all in. We were doing experiments all day. I did 2 tests. One in a bag. I put all the coffee and we put some salt in it. So we did a little experiment in a bag, in a grain per bag, and then we did in an inox tank. And after that, we replicated in the big tank. So it was a whole new process for me. It was crazy. I didn't know what to expect. It was a risk for me. And I even have a picture when I did this coffee with my people.
Mm-hmm.
The actual coffee that we got from you guys, when we cupped it, we were amazed. There were some fantastic attributes coming out of these coffees that I've never had before from an Ecuadorian coffee. I can honestly say that. So we've got 5 different lots from your experiments. Those being a golden honey and a black honey. And then we got your lactic experiment that you did. That was awesome. And anaerobic natural, which is anaerobic for 120 hours. And then we also got your fully washed aerobic 18-hour. One more thing on the coffee before we head to a few other conversation topics, and that is I noticed on your, you might say, your recipe for your fermentation, the drying stage, there's a percentage of room drying and then a percentage of like low part shade or something like that. Just help our people that are drinking this coffee, what's the difference there? What are you doing in the drying? Are you literally putting it in a room?
Yes, so the drying room has been a challenge because we deal with space. We have limited space to dry the coffee. And we have only 1 floor of beds. We do not go up because the conditions will change. This coffee will be different than this one. So talking about the space, it's a real challenge. And yes, we do put them in a room. We control temperature, humidity, and air. We play with these 3 things to 3 factors to improve our dry stage.
That's fascinating. So you basically put them to bed in a room at night and then let them play during the day out in the open.
Yeah. Mostly anaerobics. I love them because they are super different for the coffee I was used to drink before.
Yes, the Faike trees are very special, and we like intentionally kept them because they when a lot of people came and said you have too much shade, these trees, you have to take them down. And when we saw the spiders there and that they were like somehow in danger of extinction, we have also like a bird that's in danger of extinction, that it's in the property.
That there is a foundation also that protect that just in the limit of our farm. There is a foundation, a Japanese foundation called Hokotoko, who take cares about this bird.
The one that's in danger of extinction in our property, it's called matorralero. Like, I think the translation is brush-finned bird in English. And I'll send you a picture about of that bird later. So we are really focused on being in harmony with the environment, with the spiders, and with all the creatures that live there. That's why we didn't cut much of the trees, honestly. Now we only trim them. We don't cut them down because we are aware that there's a lot of life there and that they allow us to produce good coffee. We don't see them as a bother or that we only want to produce crazy coffee and too much, you know? It's more about giving them back what they give us. So it's like that symbiotic relationship with nature.
Yes, of course, spiders do their job. And for example, there's a pest called minador that attacks all the leaves of the coffee, and the spiders catch them and eat them. So they are helping us also. So we have to protect them.
Everyone knows that the whole coffee industry at the minute, you might say the economic climate of coffee is in a bit of turmoil at the minute. There's some freight issues. The coffee price is skyrocketing. There's some weather, you might say, related incidents in Brazil and whatever. How have you found it on your farm in Ecuador? How has it affected you, negatively and positively?
I'll say that of course, the whole container turmoil that you mentioned will affect us, because we will have to ask our clients to be more patient. This is a situation, it's out of our hands, and that there's containers just line up outside countries being waited to unload. So for that side, I think we all as the coffee community are going to be affected, and we would just hope for the best. Also, regarding price, like skying in a crazy way, and also you mentioned that it has to do something with Brazil, but we know that there's also a limit, and we don't want to take advantage of the situation of it. Of course, as a business, we want to maintain our prices fair, and not do it in a crazy way, because we also know that our roasters will depend on that, and if we want to maintain a long-lasting relationship with them, we have to respect that. So that's our take on what we're doing right now.
That's fantastic. That's very fair, very measured, and we appreciate that. Nico, you've got a comment there?
Yes, my point of view from the farm is that climate change is affecting us strong. So where we are located, we have a strong summer and strong winter. This year, we didn't have summer. It was a whole year of winter. So our harvest is late, like 3 or 4 months late.
It is hard as a South American woman. I can tell you it's hard. We don't have gender equality in jobs, and we wanted to somehow involve women in agricultural jobs. That's not normal, and that's why most of our harvesters, I'll say 100% of our harvesters are women, and they are actually more delicate. They pay attention to details, and they pick up the beans in their correct stage of ripe. So over the years, we've developed this nice strategy that my brother came up with. It's to make a culture of enjoyment while harvesting. I don't know if many people have harvested, but it's quite difficult. You have to pick each bean one by one, and it's very tiring. So developing a plan with measurements, and also like to allowing them to play music, to allowing them to work with friends they like, to maybe invite someone to work, and then we can hire them so that they feel comfortable working, playing their own music, being in their own group. They actually enjoy what they're doing. So that's one part of how we hire and how we harvest in our farm. And also, I'm very happy that the coffee industry is opening even more to women in business. I have to say it's a very dominated industry, but more and more people are noticing that we also can be in it. So that's my comments about that.
This year, we built a new dry room. So we are controlling even better this stage. I think that's really, really important in coffee quality.
100%. Can't agree more. We'll try those coffees next year as well. Thanks very much, guys. I really, really appreciate this conversation. Is there anything else that you would like to say?
Well, I will say that we are not we are just beginning in this marvelous way of living. I think the opportunities and the people that you can know is priceless.
That is awesome, JC. So you're saying you're at the beginning of a journey. We're at the beginning of our journey as well. We'd love to collaborate along the way, and especially with you and your children. This is a fantastic way that we can work together. We can tell the market more about your farm, and hopefully make a relationship that lasts for many, many years into the future. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. Late at night there. So thank you very much for all you're doing for coffee in general, and especially for the coffees that we're going to be tasting over the next few weeks. Thank you.
I hope you visit us as soon as you can.
First plane out.
Okay.
Awesome.